Hey there, welcome back. This is going to be my first video in a while. I've got some notes, so if you see me looking behind the camera, that's what's going on. For those of you who aren't aware, I haven't been making videos for a while just because I have started writing for a website called goombastomp.com. Please definitely go check me out there. Go check out everything we're doing there. It's pretty cool stuff, which ultimately is why I haven't been making videos, because I feel like, why would I be writing about contemporary stuff for my own personal YouTube channel where I'm screaming into a void and not getting paid, versus writing contemporary stuff for a website where there is an audience and I am getting paid. But I really did want to get back to making YouTube videos. That's what I'm doing. So I decided I just needed to kind of pivot my content a little bit. I don't want to be making contemporary stuff over at Goomba Stomp, but then also contemporary stuff here. If you hate the new stuff here, then go check out my contemporary stuff at Goomba Stomp. If you hate the contemporary stuff, stay here. If you like both, please consume all of my content, both here on my YouTube channel and at goombastomp.com. If you're interested, please continue to tune in. So in case you didn't know, I have a lot of video games. I have a pretty good collection going. But I noticed recently that I really only play like newer games, and I kind of want to fix that. So what I've decided to do is I'm just going to play the games in my backlog for YouTube. I'm going to put a new show together. Again, it's called The Backlog. So basically my plan is to pull a game off my shelf, play it, and before I play it, just make a brief video about, my experience with that game, why that game is nostalgic for me, and then I'm going to play through it and make a second video about that game, kind of wrapping up, was it good, maybe a brief kind of review, and does it hold up in contemporary times? Is this game worth going back to? So this first episode of The Backlog is going to be all about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, the reason this game is special to me is because I had a friend when I was a kid named Jeffrey Herbst. Jeffrey played Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on PC. I went to his house and I played that game and I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. And I went to my parents and I said, hey, can you please get me Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on PC? My parents, being super obsessed with Harry Potter and loving that it drove their kids, my sister and I, to read, they would basically get us anything Harry Potter related because they figured it would tangentially continue to encourage us to read. So my mom went out and she bought me the game, and I played through the whole thing, including putting Fluffy to sleep, which was really, really difficult. I remember the timing with playing the flute for each head individually and getting all three heads to sleep at the same time was really hard. But I finished that entire game, and it was amazing. I loved that game. And so naturally, when the sequel came out, I went and bought it. Or I didn't buy it, I rented it from Blockbuster, which is not a thing that we're able to do anymore, unfortunately. But I rented it on Xbox. I remember it being much, much better. Basically, they expanded all of the exploration from Sorcerer's Stone. Everything was just cranked up to 10. Everything from Sorcerer's Stone was cranked up to 10, and a lot of the bad things were kind of cut, like the more rough platforming and whatnot. So the exploration had been expanded a lot, the level design had improved a lot, and the graphics were much better. It was just overall just a radical improvement to the game, to the first game. But I never finished it because I had only rented it. My memories of Sorcerer's Stone on my family's PC have really stuck with me for, 20 years now. God, it's been 20 years. So I figured it was finally time to play Chamber of Secrets. Now, like I've shown twice before, I bought the Xbox copy of this game. Unfortunately for me, when I go back to add old games that mean something to me to my collection, I typically try to buy the version that I played when I was a kid. Now, like I said, unfortunately, the Xbox version is both the most rare and most expensive version of this game. So I had to hunt and hunt and hunt for this copy. I think I paid 25 or 30 bucks for it. Typically it goes for around 60 or 65, so I got a pretty good deal on Amazon a while back. But my original Xbox is on the fritz. So I'm going to be playing the GameCube version of this game. Now, like I said, the Xbox version is both the most rare and most expensive. The GameCube version came a lot easier. I picked this copy up for like 10 bucks on Amazon. plenty of used copies, and it came with everything. It was complete in box, so that's really cool. So after just a tiny bit of research, it looks like they're basically the same game. It looks like both versions. There's a whole lot of parity, which makes sense because the 6th generation is when we started to see that a lot more, because the power parity between, you know, Xbox, PS2, and GameCube was very, very close. In fact, it was the closest that it's ever been. So without further ado, let's play Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.